Okay, so it is time for another weekend vlog. That's up next. Hello everyone, this is Dwayne with Edge of Nowhere Farm, and we're coming to you here today. It is actually Sunday, September 13th, 2020. So the weekend obviously did not start here. We're gonna roll on back to the beginning of the weekend. Okay, so it is early. It is actually a beautiful morning. You can definitely tell fall is in the air. We have had 60-degree mornings this week. It's been fantastic. So not much in the way of a sunrise this morning. It looks like we've got definitely some effect of the fires in California. I'm really praying for you guys out there. I know we've got some viewers in California, and I have family in Oregon, Southern Oregon, Medford. I got a cousin there. Pat, if you're watching, thinking about you, praying for you. My aunt is in Grants Pass, and I got another cousin, Chris, in Portland. So praying for you guys out there. Stay safe, and man, it's just scary stuff. So we have a lot that we need to get done today. I'm not going to talk a lot right now because we need to get chicken chores done and then get a lot of these projects done. One of the things about this time of year for us, when it starts to cool off, we start to get really, really busy. It's our peak season. Actually a beautiful sunrise. I'll get this for you guys. You can see that coming up over the house. There we go. Now it's focusing in a little better. But gonna just be a beautiful day today. I think it might be a little hazy, but I need to show you guys something real quick we're gonna do here in the coop and run. One of the things that we put into place here was we built these two little beds here. Our goal was to compost in one of them and have a dust bath for the other. And we really don't accumulate much in here. We feed them all the scraps that we get. Right now we don't have a whole lot coming from the farm, obviously, because it's still getting up and running. But this is anything that the chickens can eat we've been putting into this first bin. You'll see it there. And at this point, they've kind of done their thing in there. So we've got a lot of chicken manure in there. We've got some leftover things that they could not eat. That's been piling up now all summer long. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take this out of here and add it to the compost that we've been generating for our fruit tree fertilizer. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a shovel. Really like mixing the chicken manure in there with some of the straw and other things for our fertilization schedule for our fruit trees until we have more pig manure and that kind of thing on the farm. That's going to do really well. So one of the things, we're in the areas we're headed. Ooh, you'll see Lori. Hi, Lori. So one of the things that we will be working on probably next weekend is going to be what you see behind me here. That is the primary chicken pasture and getting that installed. So we have a couple things on order that we're waiting for that. And what we still need to do is we need to water our potted trees. I'm gonna flip this around. This is the end of summer. So this is as rough as they're gonna look at this point. There's already a fall flush. I'll come in closer. You can see here on the mulberries. What I really wanted to show you was actually the moringa tree. So it's right here. Now, this tree, I think it might have been the tour video that we did last month. I talked a little bit about that tree and we actually completely uprooted it. So I thought I had killed it. Lori came back in and replanted those roots down in the wood chips and it is now bouncing back. So that gives me a lot of hope for moringa trees here on this farm. Looking forward to doing that. And if you can see it here, there we go. This is actually a panache fig that we took a cutting from off the old farm and it has just done fantastic. So I think we may actually wind up using that in one of the pots in the vineyard garden. There's several things that we still need to get accomplished. I noticed that the roost in one of the chicken tractors actually had broken loose, so I need to go grab something for that, and I need to install something that I want to do with you guys because I had it as a suggestion from one of you. I'm gonna go grab that real quick. What we're gonna be installing, it's only gonna take a couple seconds, well, maybe a couple minutes, and it's not that difficult, but it's gonna be a rain gauge. So Alan, I'm pretty sure you told me you're in Florida, and we talked about a couple things, but one of the things that you had requested was us installing a rain gauge so we actually know how much water we're getting when we get these rain events. I'm hopeful we'll still see some. We are still in the monsoon season, so I'm hopeful there, but we're trying to figure out where to place this one. They're very inexpensive. I want to see how they hold up. In fact, let me show you. This is the gauge that we're going to install. Very, very cheap. I think it's, I want to say $4 or $5. It's Accurite, can actually show us up to 5 inches. I doubt we'll see that. But we can install this onto a fence post, which is what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna install this about midway on the property. So out between the orchard side and gardening side and the pasture side of the farm. Install it on one of our wooden fence posts, and then obviously we get a rain event, we'll update you guys. So let's go ahead and get this installed. Kind of reference, this is the wood chip pile back here. We have kind of almost the halfway of the property, this line going across that cuts off the growing side from the pasture side. You can see Lori there standing at the end of our western orchard. So that's there. Alan, let's see how that does, okay? I doubt we're gonna get anything near what you get in Florida, but we'll see. And while we're back here, this is, we've talked about this, there we go. That is one of the 20-gallon containers that we use out here is to help give some of the wildlife out here water. We've seen all kinds of stuff out here. Coyotes, we've seen them drinking out of there. We've seen owls drinking out of there. Obviously all different types of birds, so they're definitely using it and it's running down. We need to fill that up. And then let's see. We do have one project we're going to be working on today that we're going to film to post next weekend on Saturday, and it's really kind of discussing or following up a little bit on what we talked about last week with regards to the fall flush that I'm already starting to see on these trees. Now that we're down into the 90s, we actually had a couple days in the 80s, and one of the things you guys will see the video today, we were fertilizing and talking about the extreme importance to fertilize in early September because you don't know when that fall flush is going to happen and you want those nutrients at the roots. We're seeing that this week, so the nutrition is down in that soil at this point. It's had a week, couple different waterings during the week to really have a chance to sink in. So we're hopeful that these trees are going to have exactly what they need for this much cooler weather. We need to have some breakfast. So we have our new pullets are laying, which is great. We're getting about anywhere from 5 to 7 eggs a day from those 20 birds. We know at least 2 of the different breeds are laying because we have 2 different color brown eggs. But we decided we're gonna go ahead and use some of those pullet eggs this morning, have like a scramble or an omelet or something. So that means this. And you guys, look at this. This thing is almost completely taken over this bed. I think we may actually plant a couple things in this bed because this did so well on just wood chips. And I think maybe we'll try a couple squashes maybe. Either way, what I'm gonna do, I want to add greens to our omelet scramble this morning. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some of these vines and have some for breakfast. Got a couple vines here. Looks like we got some pretty decent greens out of there. Let's go surprise Lori. Another quick shot. Mulberries. Oh yeah, those things are gonna have to be cage free here shortly. They're starting to grow out of those cages, and we know that they will get some strong flushes of growth here over the next several weeks, and we want to make sure they can do that. And sweetheart, guess what I got to add to breakfast?
All right.
So that's really exciting. I think we've had these once before, right? What did we have these in?
What did we put them in?
Stir fry.
Stir fry.
That's right. Okay, we're getting old, so we couldn't really remember. But yeah, I've already had some of these in stir fry. They were very, very good. Looking forward to having those with breakfast. But I need to help out Lori so we can get back outside. Breakfast was fantastic. That was the pullet eggs. It was steak leftovers from last night because we don't eat a lot of steak. And it was those sweet potato greens. So 66% of our breakfast this morning was ours. Is that pretty good? Mm-hmm. I like that. She's not as excited as me, but I get really excited about that. And then of course we have cattle coming on this winter, hopefully. And that means this morning would have been 100% ours. So Edge of Nowhere Farm grown. That's pretty cool. Okay, we have to get back outside. It's getting warm, not too bad though, and get this project done. Lori and I got a little nervous because I'm sitting here putting my shoes on. We leave them outside when we're inside the house, and always keep an eye out for scorpions. And Lori looks at me and she goes, well, there's something next to you. She didn't say that, but she said it in a tone that made me a little concerned. So I jumped up, and what was probably right next to my hand and the shoes is now over in this corner. So I'm hoping that you can pick her up. But this beautiful, beautiful tarantula is what I was right next to. Hopefully she comes up on camera real well. Let's see if I can focus. There she is. Beautiful, beautiful tarantula. Okay, so that's really cool to see. I'm not a huge fan of spiders. But we saw one about this exact same time last year before we moved in. Beautiful tarantula. We love seeing those predators here. She can eat pretty large creepy crawlers. We're in the middle of our projects, but we had to take a quick break. This is actually one of the water tanks that we put in here on the east side of the property. This one empties a little faster, at least historically faster, than the one on the western side, but we're walking by. You gotta check this out. So it's interesting the wildlife you attract, and we would have a toad hanging out in the water right here. Come on, dude. There he goes. So he's down there having a good old time, thinking he's in a pond, hiding out, and probably eating some bugs, which I don't mind at all. And I know we have some issues with certain types of toads out here and livestock. Right now we don't have livestock that's gonna be an issue with these little guys, so I'm not really worried about him. And he's eating whatever creepy crawlers might try to get in there. We're seeing some interesting life coming onto the farm this time of year. We got another project down, actually have to go and take care of something else. So fall is gonna be really, really busy for us. I'm sure it is for you as well. It's actually the beginning of our growing season, especially when it comes to livestock, but even our fall garden into winter garden is really fantastic. So you guys know, you probably see them in the back there. We have our garden beds are completely empty. There's no soil in there, but we did procure some soil. Now I'm not gonna talk too much about the soil that we chose, why we chose it. We're gonna do a video on that. We'll cover it in detail because it's actually pretty easy to get a hold of. But I'll explain that later. One thing that I need to do, it's being delivered this week. Got to make sure that I have the area marked for them to drop it. So I need to grab some paint, and I need a T-post. Ooh, and I need some flagging tape. I gotta track all this stuff down. I got it in here. I've got it in here somewhere in this building. Hopefully that's obvious. I got that there, and it says dirt here. Hopefully, hopefully the delivery company will get this right. We did tell them we wanted it in front of the outbuilding and try to make it clear. So we got that marked. Now, we don't know whether we'll be here for that delivery or not, but hopefully they'll figure that out from there. So we are about 11 o'clock. It is starting to warm up, although it's not bad at all. But we need to get inside. There's some work we need to do in there. Oh, and one other thing before I forget, if you guys don't already know this, you guys know that we're big fans of Reed at RSI Growers, and he's growing out the majority of the trees that we're putting here on this farm. But we have several that he is not growing out for us. One of those is a Pakistan mulberry, and we have a few fall apple varieties that he doesn't do either. So today is the start of the Urban Farm Fruit Tree Program with Greg Peterson. We have bought a lot of trees from him in the past as well, and want to make sure we're supporting him also. Today you get a free bag of stuff. We got a lot to spend, so we got to get inside and get that order in. Lori and I actually just wrapped up. We're working on another episode of Healthy Farm Living. We have kind of a more complicated one. We're really shifting a lot of the material that we've done on this channel a few times, cooking, winemaking, and things like that, because they're inside the house and it really kind of fits in with that channel. We're really focusing on trying to capture as much of that as we can there, as opposed to here, and keep this focused on farming. So one of the things I'm working on back here, you'll see on the computer, just about to check out with the Urban Farm Fruit Tree Program. We are gonna make sure we snag the free bag of Bioflora crumbles. That's only good today. So by the time you see this, which is probably tomorrow, it won't be there. But hopefully you guys are there now and getting your trees if you're gonna get some from Greg. So we're gonna get enough so that we can get that free bag of Bioflora crumbles. We love those, and his price is fantastic, by the way. So we may buy another 50-pound bag of it, but definitely get that there. We like that fertilizer, and we're ordering some Pakistan mulberry trees. 6 of them, because we've got the whole back of the property we want to get those onto. One other thing I wanted to talk about is yesterday we went over 10,000 subscribers, which was very surprising to Lori and I. We've really just kind of been surprised that we've had that many of you guys interested in what we do here. I mean, we know that there's an interest and there's things that are a little bit different, but you know, when you do these things, you never know for sure whether or not other people really care. And obviously we've got a lot of you guys out there that do. So really appreciate you guys, you know, your questions, comments, just watching the videos, all those things really make a difference to Lori and I. I know I say it all the time, but I mean it. And I know a lot of times here with the vlog, it's a lot of you guys that comment all the time. We really appreciate that. So what we want to do is we are kind of wrapping up for today. We want to have a little bit of downtime. I need to edit this video for you guys. We're going to continue actually into tomorrow. We have a couple of small projects we want to show you guys that I think you'll be interested in. But before I forget, there's one more thing. So hitting 10,000 subscribers, Lori and I wanted to do something a little bit different. And we were thinking about doing some live streaming. And I don't know whether or not that's something you guys want to do. For us, the easiest thing to do is right about this time. It's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. So this time is good for us. I don't know whether or not that works for everybody out there. But we thought 3 o'clock either on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon would work well for you guys that are on the East Coast. I know we've got a few of you out there. So that would be, you know, 6 o'clock your time, 5 or 6 o'clock, depending on the time of year. And then obviously about the same time in Cali. And then it would be 3 o'clock Phoenix time. So we're leaning towards that probably on Saturdays. But we'll let you guys know here when we decide to start doing those. We may do them weekly if it's something you guys want to do. We're going to be very, very busy on the farm, really starting next weekend because it's cooling off. Fall is a major, major time of the year for us, and we have a lot to get done. So we figured if we do those, and we tested it out yesterday with our son, and I think we're going to be able to get good footage for you guys, interact with you guys more real time, and also you guys can ask us questions that we can answer more directly about the farm and what's going on. Okay, so it is early on Sunday morning, and I don't know if the sunrise is it's just kind of odd. It's really kind of misty out here. Honestly, it reminds me of Southern California, so it reminds me of growing up. Okay, so Lori and I do have a couple of chores we're gonna get done, and we have a couple of projects we wanted to show you guys that we're gonna do around the pasture. But before we do that, I wanna come over here. We have the sweet potato, or the 2 blackberry beds that we've been creating soil with wood chips. And as well as that sweet potato did, you can see it behind me, as well as that's doing, we decided last night that we wanted to go ahead and plant a couple things in this bed for the fall, right into the wood chips to see whether or not they will take. So we have 2 things. We're gonna try zucchini. We actually harvested the seeds from a zucchini we grew on the old farm, and we're gonna plant that. It was a hybrid, so I have no idea what we're actually going to get. So that'll be interesting. And we also are going to do an acorn squash because we figured both of those are bushes. And in this bed with the vine, we're not gonna have a vining squash going with those. And I don't know, we might be a little too late. We may not get anything from these 2 things, but we're gonna try them in the wood chips. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the seeds. All right, got those planted, so now we need to go do a couple quick chores and get to our projects this morning. That is the sunrise. Hopefully you pick it up. We've got some dove hunters right across 243rd. I don't have a problem with that. So if you hear gunshots in the background, that's just people hunting some dove. So what I'm doing, I'm here at the front of the property. You'll see here I've got the fencing that goes along the pasture here. Get a better angle, there we go. And look back over here to Lori. Wave, sweetie. All right, so what we're gonna do this morning is we've got this whole front of the pasture area that has the fencing. We know we have all the hardware cloth buried underneath it as well. So what I wanna do is we're gonna actually take some wood chips and put them along here. So we had talked a little bit about that in the video that we did, that we would have wood chips piled in, and we need to go ahead and get that accomplished in hopes that we'll get some rain here and kind of wet it down. I'm gonna walk this way. So we're gonna wrap it all the way around, leave ourselves a little bit of a walkway probably, but fill this whole area in back here as well with wood chips because we're actually done. We're not gonna make any larger rings with those kumquats, so those are complete. So, of course, if I'm gonna be moving wood chips these days, there's only one thing I'm gonna use to do heavy work like that. Took us a while, but we got these wood chips done. Hopefully you can see a shot. There we go, that's a good one right there. So you can see that shot, looks really, really good up here on the front side of the pasture. So as we were bringing the wood chips in, we had a few things in there. Trash, there's always some trash, so that's not really surprising. But we did get our very first rattlesnake. It was a small one, so maybe about 1.5 feet long or so. Scared Lori a little bit, and that's understandable. It's interesting that it's our first one, and I'm not surprised. We were expecting them in the wood chips, but we got our first one today. So you can get an idea here too as we get onto this corner. I'll back up a bit so you get a good shot. So that's the corner of the coop and run, mulberry area there, and then looking down that side, that's a good shot right there for you guys. So we got that completed. Now we still have 1 or 2 more projects that we want to get done today, but I need to go in and edit video for you guys. So I've got some work to do this afternoon. We have another couple more shots for the HFL channel that we need to shoot, but I think that's going to do it here for today. So fast forward to now, we actually had just wrapped up the wood chips out there in front of the house, right where the citrus area is. Looks really, really good. Looking forward to a few rains that will soak those down and really kind of start building that soil around the pasture and that citrus area. So now actually we've got a couple more projects left for today, but I want to make sure that I can get this vlog up for you guys today. So we're gonna call it a wrap for today. So just want to thank you for joining us today. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Questions or comments, leave those in the comment section down below. Instagram and Facebook, we post content there you won't see here on the YouTube channel. Our Amazon shop, I'll leave a link down in the description. That's a free, painless way to help support the channel. If you start with that link, it doesn't matter what you buy, you help to support us here. And one more announcement, our Healthy Farm Living channel, if you haven't checked that out, I'll leave a link down in the description. That is where Lori and I share with you all the things that we do to stay healthy inside and around the farmhouse, because the goal here is everything is as healthy as it possibly can be. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere, so can you.